Lil Kim versus Diddy, the untold story of betrayal, manipulation, and hip-hop's darkest secrets. Lil Kim isn't holding back anymore. She's pulling back the curtain on Diddy's alleged manipulation, revealing how he kept her under his thumb, sabotaged her biggest career moves, and even blocked a collaboration with the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. But the drama runs deeper than just business. Kim has long suspected that Diddy knows far more about Biggie's tragic passing than he's ever let on. With former associates hinting at unresolved questions surrounding Biggie's death, the question remains, was Lil Kim just another pawn in Diddy's game? Kim isn't the only one with suspicions. Other sources have hinted at Diddy's controversial behavior, suggesting he might have been more involved in the events surrounding Biggie's passing than he's admitted. Kim believes Diddy's manipulation didn't stop at her career. It extended to the mysteries surrounding Biggie's death too. And that revelation has made her question everything she thought she knew about their relationship. Lil Kim's troubled childhood, from Brooklyn streets to hip-hop royalty. Before she became the queen bee of hip-hop, Lil Kim was just Kimberly Denise Jones, a young girl trying to survive the harsh streets of Brooklyn. Life wasn't serving her luxury or diamonds back then. Kim's childhood was far from glamorous. Her parents had a rocky relationship, and after her father kicked her out as a teenager, she was forced to fend for herself on the streets. She later admitted, "I was basically living out of a car, going from place to place." Not exactly the origin story you'd expect from a future rap legend, but fate had other plans. Enter Christopher Wallace, aka the Notorious B.I.G. The moment Kim met Biggie, her life changed forever. She was young, hungry for success, and Biggie saw something special in her. He took her under his wing, teaching her the ropes of the rap game and shaping her into the powerhouse we know today. Big made me feel like I could do anything. He believed in me when nobody else did, Kim once said. And just like that, she transformed from a struggling Brooklyn girl to a rising star in hip-hop. Biggie and Kim, a complicated love story. Their relationship, let's just say messy, doesn't even begin to cover it. Biggie wasn't just her mentor, he was her everything. But their love story was filled with drama, heartbreak, and betrayal. Biggie was married to Faith Evans, yet his bond with Kim remained complicated. She later revealed, "I was in love with Big, and that was my world. I didn't care about anything else." But love wasn't enough to protect her from the toxicity of their relationship. She endured heartbreak after heartbreak, yet she stayed because she believed in what they had. Through it all, Kim was rising. With Biggie guiding her, she became one of the fiercest female rappers in the game. Her 1996 debut album, Hardcore, set the industry on fire. The raw lyrics, the unapologetic attitude. Kim proved that she wasn't just Biggie's protege. She was a star in her own right. But even as she climbed the ranks, the weight of her past and her love for Biggie never truly left her. When Biggie tragically passed away in 1997, Kim was shattered. "When Big died, a part of me died too," she admitted. She lost not just a mentor, but someone she loved deeply. It took years for her to find herself again. Lil Kim's transformation, from protege to queen bee. Lil Kim's big break came thanks to none other than the Notorious B.I.G. Biggie saw something special in Kim from the start. Her raw talent, her attitude, and that undeniable star power. He took her under his wing, helped shape her style, and before long, she was spitting bars that would shake up the hip-hop scene. In 1995, she became the only female member of Junior MAFIA, Biggie's crew, and stole the show on tracks like Players Anthem and Get Money. Fans couldn't get enough of her sharp flow and confident delivery. Then came 1996, when she dropped Hardcore, her debut album that proved she wasn't just Biggie's protege. She was a force in her own right. Tracks like No Time and Crush on You cemented her as hip-hop's queen bee. Her over-the-top, ultra-glam persona made her stand out in an industry dominated by men. It was all about luxury, confidence, and proving that women could rap just as hard, if not harder, than guys. But behind the success, the glitz, and the glamour, Lil Kim's story is one of survival, heartbreak, and reinvention. From a rough childhood to hip-hop royalty, she fought for her place in the industry despite all the odds stacked against her. But with the way things unfolded, was Biggie her blessing or her biggest heartbreak? Either way, there's no denying that their connection changed hip-hop forever. Lil Kim's transformation, the price of fame and the pressure to conform. As Lil Kim's fame skyrocketed, so did the pressure to maintain an image that wasn't entirely her own. She began changing, both physically and emotionally, to fit the mold she thought the industry, and even Biggie, wanted her to be. Kim has been open about how Biggie influenced the way she saw herself. In a 2000 interview, she admitted, "I have low self-esteem, and I always have. Guys always cheated on me with women who were lighter skinned with long hair, and that left me thinking I don't look like that, so I need to look like that." Kim underwent several physical changes, trying to match an unrealistic standard of beauty she believed was necessary to stay relevant. Her transformation wasn't just about looks. It was also about survival in an industry that often casts women aside once they no longer fit a certain image. Diddy, who played a huge role in her career, didn't exactly step in to stop it. Instead, many believe he capitalized on it, pushing the over-the-top persona that made Kim a marketing goldmine. But what cost? As time went on, Kim began realizing how much she had changed, not just physically, but mentally. The Lil Kim the world fell in love with in hardcore was fierce, unapologetic, and in control. But behind the scenes, she was struggling with heartbreak, betrayal, and the pressure of living up to a brand that she wasn't sure was truly hers. Even after Biggie's tragic passing in 1997, Kim kept pushing forward. But with her mentor gone, the industry started feeling a lot colder. And as she tried to navigate her career without Biggie's guidance, her relationship with Diddy became even more complicated. The man who once backed her now seemed more interested in replacing her. But Kim wasn't about to fade into the background. She had fought too hard to get where she was, and she wasn't about to let anyone, Diddy included, erase her legacy. The complicated triangle, Lil Kim, Biggie, and Faith Evans. Lil Kim and Biggie's relationship? It was a whole mess, but also totally legendary. From the moment they met, it was clear Biggie saw something special in Kim. He wasn't just impressed with her talent. He vibed with her as a person. He took her under his wing, helped shape her career, and, well, things got way more complicated than just business. What started as a mentor-mentee relationship quickly turned into something much more intense, passionate, and, let's face it, wildly messy. But there was just one issue. Biggie was already married to Faith Evans. Yeah, you can see where this is going. Biggie and Faith tied the knot in 1994, basically right after meeting. Super quick, right? Meanwhile, Biggie and Kim were doing their own thing. Let's call it working closely together, if you catch my drift. This turned into one of the most infamous love triangles in hip-hop history. And Faith, she wasn't blind to the situation. In her memoir, Keep the Faith, she admitted to catching Biggie and Kim together multiple times. But nothing was quite as dramatic as one particular night. Faith walked into a hotel room only to find her husband and Lil Kim in a compromising situation. Imagine her reaction. "I kicked in the door and surprised them," Faith recalled, adding, "I was ready to confront them." The situation escalated from there, with Faith and Kim reportedly having a heated exchange. Kim didn't back down, though. She fully admitted to her feelings for Biggie. In an interview, Kim said, "He was my world." No shame in her game, even though she knew Biggie was married. Her emotions ran deep. And just when you thought this love triangle couldn't get more dramatic, Kim found out she was pregnant with Biggie's child. But that wasn't a fairy tale ending. Kim made the heart-wrenching decision to terminate the pregnancy, a choice she later opened up about in a raw, emotional interview. Lil Kim's emotional struggles, the aftermath of Biggie's passing. Kim shared, "I was young, and I didn't know what to do. It was one of the hardest decisions of my life." Can you even imagine the emotional weight she was carrying at that point? Despite all the drama, and there was a lot of it, Kim stayed loyal to Biggie even after his tragic passing in 1997. She kept his memory alive and spoke with love about their bond. But if we're being real, you can't go through something like that and come out unscathed. Kim has been open about the toll it took on her, both mentally and emotionally. Between the struggles with self-esteem and her very public physical transformation, many believe the fallout from her relationship with Biggie shaped who she became, for better or worse. Their love story was complicated, tragic, messy, and let's be honest, a little bit of a roller coaster. But one thing's for sure, Lil Kim and Biggie will forever be talked about in hip-hop circles. They were the duo that everyone couldn't stop watching, even if it was more drama than romance. Biggie once said, "You're nobody till somebody kills you." But for Lil Kim, she'll always be somebody. Their connection was real, and despite the chaos, it's hard to forget the wild, unforgettable ride that was their relationship. The darker side of their relationship. Their relationship wasn't all glamorous. It had a darker side too. Behind the intense passion, there was a lot of volatility. Biggie was dealing with his own demons, and Kim was often caught in the middle of it. The emotional roller coaster was brutal. One minute, They were inseparable. The next, they were at odds. There were moments of manipulation, heartbreak, and jealousy that ran deep. Kim has said that she felt controlled at times, struggling with self-worth. In her words, it was love, but it wasn't healthy love. The chaotic nature of their relationship left emotional scars that stuck around long after Biggie's passing. Biggie's fame and tragic passing. Biggie's death has been one of the most talked about events in hip-hop history, and for good reason. His passing in 1997 was as mysterious as it was tragic, and for years, the conspiracy theories around it have been growing like a snowball rolling downhill. But to understand what led to his untimely demise, we need to rewind a bit and see how things went down in the world of rap during that time. First off, let's talk about Tupac. When Pac's life was tragically cut short in 1996, the hip-hop world was rocked to its core. But as the saying goes, when one door closes, another one opens. With Tupac's passing, Biggie quickly rose to become the king of East Coast rap. Not only did he inherit Pac's spot, but he also stepped into the role of representing the East Coast in the infamous East Coast versus West Coast rap feud. There were those who thought it was all a setup. After all, when Tupac passed, the East Coast needed someone to hold it down, right? But here's where it gets even crazier. Some people, particularly Biggie's former bodyguards, have said Diddy, his mentor and label head, may have been more involved in the events surrounding Biggie's passing than he's admitted. According to Uncle Ron, one of Biggie's former bodyguards, there were some pretty explosive claims made. Uncle Ron alleged that Diddy was involved in the circumstances leading to Biggie's passing. Diddy, the same guy who was rolling in the clubs, making music, and raking in money off Biggie's success, allegedly had a darker side. Uncle Ron even said that Diddy offered him $30,000 to carry out a plan involving Biggie, though he declined. Diddy allegedly didn't want to lose control of Biggie's lucrative catalog and feared that Biggie was planning to leave Bad Boy Records and go his own way. According to Ron, Biggie should have never been in California that fateful night. He had a broken leg, and Diddy's state-of-the-art studio in New York didn't exactly need a West Coast appearance. But hey, we all know the story. Biggie's presence at that party became part of the chain of events that would lead to his passing. Uncle Ron wasn't the only one who was suspicious. Gene Deal, another ex-bodyguard, also had his doubts. While he didn't outright say that Diddy was involved, he hinted that something wasn't right. He pointed to the strange street team stickers that appeared on Biggie's car the night of his passing. Like, what kind of sticker? The details remain murky, but the questions linger. Lil Kim's allegations, Diddy's toxic behavior, and the fallout. Lil Kim has never been one to hold back, and when it comes to Diddy, she's got some serious claims. She's gone as far as calling him a predator hiding in plain sight. That's not something you throw around lightly. And Kim has been outspoken about her experiences with him during their time at Bad Boy Records. According to Kim, Diddy didn't just use his power in the music industry to elevate artists. He used it to manipulate and control women, especially those who were vulnerable. Kim says Diddy's approach wasn't just about making music. He was all about making sure that women fell in line, whether they wanted to or not. She recalled one incident where a dancer rejected Diddy's advances, and, well, he didn't take it well. Kim claims that he exploded in rage, hurling insults and threats, turning the whole situation into something terrifying. And this wasn't a one-off incident. Other people have also spoken out about Diddy's questionable behavior. Radio host Miss Jones shared her experience where Diddy allegedly intimidated her live on air, saying he'd put her in the trunk of a car. Now, that's some serious intimidation. But here's the kicker. Kim, who was in the room, stepped in and told Diddy to back off and leave Jones alone. That's how you know Kim wasn't just playing nice. She saw the toxic behavior firsthand and wasn't afraid to stand up to it. But it doesn't stop with Kim and Miss Jones. Aubrey O'Day, who was part of Donnie Kane, came forward with accusations of her own. She claimed that Diddy pressured her to leave the group in 2008 after she refused his special requests. Yeah, sound a lot like someone using their power. It's clear that Diddy's manipulative tendencies weren't just about controlling his artists. He was playing games with their careers and personal lives. Biggie's legacy and the shadows surrounding his passing. Biggie's $62 million deal for his own label was a major career move. He had plans to work with artists like Lil Kim and Junior Mafia, but some people believe this step may have been the final straw that led to the events surrounding his passing. Lil Kim, for one, believes Diddy knows more about Biggie's death than he lets on. In fact, she thinks Diddy might have been enabling Biggie's behavior toward her, particularly the toxic and abusive moments she's described from her time at Bad Boy. But the story doesn't end there. Kim isn't the only one speaking out. Other women have also come forward with allegations of mistreatment, including Kimora Lee Simmons, who claims Diddy once intimidated her while she was pregnant. Aubrey O'Day, a former member of Diddy Kane, accused Diddy of pressuring her to leave the group in 2008 after she refused to meet his demands. Back to Kim, she was hurt when Diddy seemed to have replaced her with Nicki Minaj, especially after their public feud started gaining steam. Kim thought Diddy was positioning Nicki as the new and improved version of herself, which naturally didn't sit well. To add insult to injury, Kim felt disrespected by how she was portrayed in the 2009 film Notorious. According to her, the movie painted her as just Biggie's sidekick, completely disregarding her contributions to the hip-hop world. After everything Kim had gone through, it seemed like Diddy was done with her when she wasn't as profitable, especially when she went to jail. It was a slap in the face for Kim, who felt abandoned at her lowest point. While Diddy has stayed silent through most of these accusations, the truth seems to be hiding in plain sight. Even if only a fraction of what Kim and the others are saying is true, it's clear that Diddy's behavior has been questionable at best. Whether Diddy had a direct hand in the events surrounding Biggie's passing or not, it's undeniable that the aftermath left a lot of broken relationships in its wake. And to this day, the conspiracy theories continue to thrive. As Kim said in one interview, "I never let anyone control me again." And if there's one thing we know, it's that Biggie's passing and the questionable dealings around it aren't going away anytime soon. Lil Kim's battle with Diddy, betrayal, rivalry, and sabotage. Kim's quote calling Diddy a predator hiding in plain sight hits hard when you consider all these accounts. She's been through the worst of it with him, especially after Biggie's tragic passing. It was during that time that Diddy's behavior started taking an even more questionable turn, and Kim was caught in the middle of it all. She shared how Diddy used to treat her like family, but once she stopped playing the game, things went sour. Kim even said, "It's not personal, it's just business," referring to how Diddy replaced her with a rising Nicki Minaj. That kind of betrayal hit Kim hard, and she wasn't about to keep quiet about it. But the wildest part of all this? Diddy's silence. Despite all the accusations flying his way, he stayed awfully quiet, leaving fans and celebrities alike to wonder if he'll ever address the truth. With people like Kim, Miss Jones, and Aubrey O'Day all sharing their experiences, it's hard to ignore that Diddy's actions were more than just bad behavior. They were damaging to the people who worked with him. In the end, Kim's not backing down. After everything she's been through, she's using her voice to hold Diddy accountable. And as the story unfolds, we're all left wondering if the truth will ever come to light, or if Diddy will keep dodging it. How Diddy sabotaged Kim's career. As if things weren't already tense enough, Diddy went ahead and started getting real close to Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim's ultimate rival. Now, if you're familiar with the feud between Nicki and Kim, you know it's not just about music, it's personal. Kim once said she started releasing all these records, doing her vocals the way I did my vocals. The problem with her is she was very competitive with it. I never had a problem with her. I was always nice with her. She was a very outspoken person, but I was always nice with her. She was always throwing shots. So, when Diddy began working with Nicki, Kim felt like she'd been replaced. After all, Nicki was the new star Diddy was grooming, and it didn't help that Nicki's style seemed eerily similar to Kim's early look. The shade was real, and Kim couldn't ignore the fact that it felt like Diddy was trying to make her the old guard in favor of fresh new talent. It wasn't just about Nicki taking Kim's spot in the limelight, though. Kim was furious about how she was portrayed in the movie Notorious, the biopic about Biggie Smalls. Kim felt like the movie reduced her to nothing more than a side character in Biggie's story, which she considered a huge disrespect to everything she had contributed to the hip-hop game. She said, "They made me look like nothing but a backup to Biggie's success." The movie didn't just misrepresent her. Kim had no control over how her character was depicted. And that, folks, is where the betrayal hit hard. Kim didn't take it lying down, either. She had to take legal action just to get paid for a role in the movie. That's right, she had to fight for compensation for a portrayal that she felt misrepresented her entire legacy. Imagine being depicted on screen in a way that doesn't reflect your truth, and then not even getting the money you deserve for the role. That's a whole other level of betrayal, and Kim wasn't about to let it slide. The missed opportunity, Michael Jackson collaboration. But the real kicker? Kim had the chance to collaborate with none other than Michael Jackson, the king of pop himself. That was going to be a career-defining moment, but guess who supposedly ruined it? According to Kim, Rodney Jerkins, who was working with Michael at the time, told her that MJ wanted her to join him on his new album. But Diddy, feeling a little too possessive, allegedly stepped in and sabotaged the whole thing. Kim found out later, and needless to say, she was crushed. Lil Kim's final stand, reclaiming her story. Kim couldn't believe Diddy had allegedly blocked such a huge opportunity behind her back. It was a massive blow for Kim, who had trusted Diddy to help guide her career, only to feel like he was actively hindering her progress. It wasn't just about one missed opportunity. It felt like Diddy didn't want her to rise to the level of greatness she deserved, especially if it meant sharing the spotlight with another superstar. That's when Kim realized Diddy wasn't about loyalty or helping her succeed. He was about control. And when Kim started to rise beyond his reach, that's when the alleged sabotage began. Kim's story is filled with moments of betrayal, frustration, and, frankly, some seriously challenging situations. From a movie misrepresentation to the career opportunities Diddy allegedly blocked, it's clear that their relationship was anything but smooth sailing. And with the way Kim has been speaking out about Diddy, it's obvious that she's not holding back. She's ready to set the record straight, and she's got a lot to say. Through it all, Kim has had enough, and this time, she's speaking her truth, unfiltered and unapologetic. It's clear that her journey hasn't been easy, but she's finally reclaiming her story and taking control of the narrative, whether Diddy likes it or not. With all the drama, the betrayal, and the alleged sabotage, Kim's perseverance to rise above it all shows just how much she's grown. She's not afraid to confront her past anymore. Instead, she's using it to fuel her future. So, with all these accusations swirling in Kim's relentless pursuit of the truth, the real question is, will Diddy ever speak up about all of this? Or will he keep dodging the truth, letting the rumors and suspicions continue to mount?